So you're taking a big math test and you get a question like this. Now, it may look complicated at first, but no worries, Mom. We're going to break it down as easy as chewing applesauce with no teeth. Let's dive in. It says f of x equals ax squared plus 4x plus c. And the given quadratic function a and c are constants. The graph of y equals f of x in the xy plane is a parabola that opens upward and has a vertex at the point hk, where h and k are constants. If k is less than 0 and f of -9 equals f of 3, which of the following must be true? Number 1, that c is less than 0, or 2, that a is greater than or equal to 1. So we are going to be looking for our a, x squared plus b, x plus c. And we're looking for these three numbers. Okay. It says that it's a parabola that opens upward. Okay. And it has a vertex right here at h comma k, and they tell us that k is less than 0. And that essentially means that k is negative, okay? So if k is negative, then that means that our y-axis is going to be here. Then they tell us that f of -9 equals f of 3. Okay, now in any parabola, all right, the distance between any 2 points that this bisecting line is gonna cut across, so pretty much like these 2 points right here, the vertex is going to be equidistant from these 2 points. Okay, specifically it's going to be the square root of b squared minus 4ac. So we are told that f of -9 equals f of 3. All right, that's going to give us this information about the x value of the vertex. If f of -9 is equal to f of 3, then that's going to mean that the vertex is at the midpoint between these two. So I'm going to add -9 plus 3 and divide that by 2, because this is going to be -6 over 2, and therefore the x value of my vertex is going to be at -3. Once again, imagine this is -9 and this is 3, then right in between, right in between is going to be our vertex. What we're going to do with that information is we're going to understand that there's going to be a formula, x equals opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Well, this opposite of b over 2a, that's going to actually be the formula for the x value of your vertex. So the x value of the vertex is going to be opposite of b over 2a. So we know the x value of our vertex, -3. We know the x value of the vertex is going to be -3. Okay. We know it's going to equal our b term. We know it's going to equal our b, which is 4. So opposite of b is going to be -4 over 2a. Now we can actually solve for a, right? We multiply 2a by both sides. It's going to give us -6a equals -4. Then we divide both sides by -6. So a equals 4 over 6, or equals 2 over 3. All right. Now, we know that a is going to equal 2/3, which if I look at my second point, and this is not true. It does not have to be greater than 1. As a matter of fact, it will not be greater than 1. So we already know our a. Now, final thing that we're going to do is take this discriminant knowledge right here, and we're going to use this to help us solve for what our c is. Let's actually take note that b squared minus 4ac has to be greater than 0. It has to be a positive number. This number has to be a positive number in order for it to have 2 solutions. If it's equal to 0, it's going to have 1 solution. And if it's a negative number, aka a negative underneath the radical, which is an imaginary number, all right, there will be 0 solutions because it's imaginary steps, right? So we know what our a is, we know what our b is, and now we're going to just go ahead and solve for c. We'll plug in 4 for our b. We'll subtract 4. 2 over 3 for a times c is going to be greater than 0. This is 16 minus 8c over 3 is greater than 0. I personally am going to add this 8c over 3 to the other side because I don't like to divide by negatives. So you just have to remember your sign, flip, all that type of stuff. But This, I think, avoids all that hassle for me. So we're down here. Pretty much we're going to multiply both sides by 3 over 8. We'll multiply this side by 3 over 8. This cancels out to become 1 over 2. And I find out that 6 is going to be greater than C. Now, if I flip this, C is going to be less than 6, which, if I look at my prompts or whatever they were asking me for, once again, the fact that C must be less than 0, well, no. It could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 3, it could be 0, it could be 4, it could be 5. So this does not have to be true. And so our best answer for this type of question is going to be D, neither 1 nor 2 must be true. So if that was helpful, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this with one of your friends so that they know that you know what you're talking about. All right, that's it for today's problem breakdown. If you know anybody that you think could use this extra practice or is preparing for an ACT, SAT, or any type of high school math exam, go ahead and share this video with them. Hope that it helps. Peace.